And gentlemen, and welcome back into another edition of Keytime Sports. Please like, comment, share Keytime Sports right here on YouTube, Key City Sports on Instagram, and the keyonmillions.co. This is the most important week in college football because it is championship weekend, and we have a 5 game slated schedule that starts off with North Texas Mean Green and Tulane Green Wave tonight. That game kicks off at 8 o'clock on ABC. That is ABC in all of the areas that you may watch the game. And you can look at it on streaming platforms like YouTube TV, Netflix. Well, excuse me, not Netflix. You can look at it on College Football Plus, and you can look at it on ESPN and the surrounding sports networks across any of your digital platform services. Now, let's get to this first matchup. North Texas Mean Green Wave. A lot of people haven't seen them play throughout the entirety of this season. Here is their quarterback. Here is their running back. Here is their receiving core led by W. Young. Here is their kicking. Here is their defense. And here is a team in North Texas that has really flown under the radar all season. As you can see, solo tackles as a defensive unit, they have 862 solo tackles. Now we get to their offense. And now their offense, we see that they average 46.8 points per game. Third down efficiency is 47%. Third down efficiency is 47%. Fourth down efficiency is 72%. Now, North Texas, let's see their schedule. Now, we all know that they are in the American Conference, so they are not really going to play anybody of significance. The only team that they played of significance is South Florida, and they got blown out on October 10th, 63-36. So, can't really take too much away from their out of conference competition. But tonight, whoever wins the American Conference, there will be a guaranteed spot in the playoff. So let's switch on over to the Tulane Green Wave. Now, this team right here, they have a resume on their hands. They have beaten some of the top teams in college football. So this team is no slouch. Here is their schedule. They lost to Ole Miss 45-10, respectfully. They lost to UTSA 48-26. So everybody is pretty much on the fence when it comes to their schedule. And as you can see, they've played teams like Northwestern, South Alabama, no team of significance. But now, this game tonight has more significance than any other game they've played this season. Now, let's get to their statistics and their quarterback, who is led by Jay Raslaf. And here is their top rusher, Jay Raslaf again. So quarterback, and your quarterback is your leading rusher. That's bad. That has bad signs all over, because you need your quarterback just to focus on passing. But if you have a quarterback that can also run, that is another luxury to your playbook that you have. And here is the top wide receiver for the Tulane Green Wave. Now let's get to their kicking and defense. As far as their defense, solo tackles, 774 solo tackles. Offensively, this is where Tulane is pretty much up and down. Now, when it comes to their offense, 28.7 points per game. Third down efficiency is 42%, one of the worst in college football. Fourth down efficiency is 56%. Not good, but it's decent. Now we get to the storylines for this game. AAC championship features number 21 North Texas against number 22 Green Wave. Number 21, North Texas, 11-1 at number 22, Tulane, 10-2 tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. How to watch ABC key stats. North Texas offense overall 510.1 yards per game, first in FBS. Passing 324.8 points, 324.8 yards per game, second in college football currently. Rushing 185.3 yards per game, 40th in college football currently. Scoring 46.8 points per game, first in college football currently. North Texas defense overall 372.6 yards per game, 65th in FBS. Passing 164.7 yards per game, 10th in college football currently. Rushing 207.9 yards per game, 129th in college football currently. Scoring 24.2 points per game, 65th in college football currently. Tulane's offense overall 416.3 yards per game, 40th in FBS. Passing 248.4 yards per game, 60th in college football currently. Scoring 28.7 points per game, 61st in college football currently. Tulane's defense. Now, this is the part that I want to talk about. This is the part where not too many people mention the Tulane defense. Tulane's defense overall 372.3 yards per game, 64th in FBS. Passing 251.9 yards per game, 121st in college football currently. That is bad. There's only 136 teams in college football, so anything over or beyond, in this case, 100 is bad. Rushing 120.3 yards per game, 31st in college football currently. Scoring 22.8 points per game, 51st in college football currently. North Texas is 117th, which is bad, in third down defensive percentage, allowing opponents to convert 44.3% of the time. Tulane ranks 40th on offense, converting 42.9% of third downs. North Texas is third in FBS with a plus 14 turnover margin. Tulane ranks 126, bad all across the board. This is all what I'm saying. Everything I'm reading right now, America, is bad across the board. Tulane ranks 126 in FBS, averaging 67.4 penalty yards per game, compared to North Texas 18th ranked 40.2 per game average in penalty yards. Tulane is 77th in FBS in red zone defense, allowing opponents to score on 84.6% of their trips. Bad defense. North Texas red zone offense ranks 4th, scoring on 94.3% of their red zone opportunities. Everything I just said when it comes to North Texas and Tulane when it comes to offense and defense is bad. Nothing is good out of what I just said. If you are a North Texas fan or if you are a Tulane fan, this is the only thing that you are happy about. North Texas ranks 112th in FBS with an average time of possession of 28 minutes, 20 seconds, compared to Tulane's 51st ranked average 30 minutes and 31 seconds. Team leaders: North Texas passing, Drew Macker, 3,825 yards, 29 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 70.6% completion percentage. Caleb Hawkins, 1,206 yards on 193 carries, 23 TDs receiving. Watt Young, 1,203 yards on 62 catches, 10 TDs. Tulane, Jake Rasliff, 2,717 yards, 14 TDs, 6 INTs, 62.6 completion percentage. Rushing, Rasliff, 561 yards on 103 carries, 14 TDs, receiving Shaz Preston, 582 yards on 36 carries, 4 TDs. The last game for both teams, North Texas beat Temple 52-25 last Friday. Tulane won 27-0 over Charlotte last Saturday. Now let's get to the point spread for this game. This game is one of the games that has flown under the radar. I can see where North Texas was the favorite in this game. And I'm just going to go back to what I said a few minutes ago about the Tulane Green Wave defense. I just don't see how Tulane can stop North Texas consistently in this game. And also, you're allowing opponents to score almost 95% of the time on their possession. So I got North Texas winning this game. North Texas, they opened up as a 3-point favorite. Now it's at 2.5 points, according to DraftKings, who is the official sportsbook sponsor of ESPN right now. Well, currently, now, the next game I am going to cover is BYU Cougars and the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I feel like that I just talked about this game a few weeks ago, which I did. But now we got these two teams competing for the Big 12 championship. We got Bear Batchmere, 208 of 322, 2,593 yards. Here is the Cougars' top running back with 1,229 yards. Here is their top wide receiver for the Cougars. Here is the kicker for the Cougars. Here is the defense for the Cougars. And as far as the defense entirely as a whole, 650 solo tackles as a defense. Now let's get to their offense. Offense for BYU Cougars, they average 33.7 points per game. Third down efficiency is 41%. Fourth down efficiency is 64%. Now we see where the defense for the BYU Cougars, sometimes they can sputter. That's what it is. Sometimes they can sputter. And BYU offense, they sputtered versus the Texas Tech Red Raiders earlier on in the season. Now we get to the Texas Tech Red Raiders. So the Texas Tech Red Raiders are led by B. Morton, 181 of 267, 2,428 yards. You have 20 TDs and 4 interceptions. Here is their leading running back, C. Dickey, 1,023 yards. And then you have their top wide receiver, C. Douglas. He has over 800 yards already. Here is the kicking for the Texas Tech Raiders. Here's the defense for the Texas Tech Raiders. Now, I believe that we are going to see the same thing that we saw just a few weeks ago when it comes to Texas Tech and BYU. That's why I keep saying BYU has some explaining to do. That is why I keep on saying I'm not sold on BYU with their schedule. Now, let's get to the storylines for this game. Number 7 Texas Tech and number 11 BYU square off in the Big 12 championship. How to watch? ABC. Key stats: Texas Tech offense, 489.2 yards per game, 4th in FBS. Passing, 295.6 yards per game, 9th in college football currently. Rushing, 193.6 yards per game, 25th in college football currently. Scoring, 43.2 points per game, 3rd in college football currently. Texas Tech defense overall, 259 yards per game, 6th in FBS. Passing, 190.1 yards per game, 27th in college football currently. Rushing, 68.9 yards per game, 1st in college football currently. The best rushing defense in college football. scoring 11.3 points per game, third in college football currently. BYU's offense, 414 yards per game, 43rd in FBS, passing 219.5 yards per game, 78th in college football currently, rushing 194.5 yards per game, 23rd in college football currently, scoring 34 points per game, 22nd in college football currently. BYU's defense, 324.6 yards per game, 29th in FBS, passing 205.6 yards per game, 46th in college football currently, rushing 119 yards per game, 46th in college football currently, rushing 119 yards per game, 29th in college football currently, scoring 17.8 points per game, 14th in college football currently. Both teams perform well defensively on third down. So we got something here. We got a good matchup here, everybody. Both teams perform defensively on third down. Texas Tech ranks 11th in FBS, allowing opponents to convert 29.8% of the time. BYU ranks 16th, allowing a 32.3% chance third down conversion rate. Both teams have strong turnover margins. Texas Tech is 5th in FBS at plus 13, and BYU ranks 7th at plus 12. Texas Tech ranked 92nd in FBS, averaging 58.7 penalty yards per game compared to BYU 35th ranked 46.4 per game average. BYU is 9th in FBS in red zone defense, allowing opponents to score on 72.1% of their trips. I'm going to read that again. BYU is 9th in FBS in red zone defense, allowing opponents to score 72.1% of their trips. Now, I don't know how a defense is a good defense when you allow your opponents to score over 50% of the time on their possession trips. Texas Tech is 64th in FBS with an average time of possession of 30 minutes, 7 seconds compared to BYU's 10th ranked average, 33 minutes, 8 seconds. Team leaders, Texas Tech, Bran Morton, 2,428 yards, 20 TDs, 4 interceptions, 67.8% completion percentage. Cameron Dickey, 1,025 yards on 180 carries, 3 TDs. Receiving, Caleb Douglas, 822 yards on 54 catches, 7 TDs. For the BYU Cougars, Bear Batchmere, 2,593 yards, 14 TDs, 4 interceptions, 64.6% completion percentage. Rushing, LJ Martin, 1,229 yards on 217 carries, 11 TDs. Receiving, Parker Kingston, 804 yards on 557 catches, 5 TDs. Last game, Texas Tech won 49-0 over West Virginia last Saturday. BYU won 41-21 over UCF last Saturday. Now, when we get to the point spread for this game, Texas Tech Red Raiders are a 12.5 point favorite. I've already given y'all these statistics. BYU's defense is bad because they allow opponents to score on BYU's defense is bad because opponents score 72.1% of the time on their possessions. I just cannot risk it. I expect the Texas Tech Red Raiders to be dominant just like they were a few weeks ago in that 29-7 drubbing of the BYU Cougars, and that was on November 15th. So this is not even a month, and now we have the BYU Cougars and Texas Tech Red Raiders again. Now let's get to the game that everybody has been waiting for. We got the Georgia Bulldogs. We got old-fashioned UGA versus UA, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, let me tell y'all something. When it comes to the Georgia Bulldogs, I understand that the Georgia Bulldogs, they are 11-1. They are the top dog to win this game. But let me tell y'all something. It's something different. It's something different when it comes to Alabama and Georgia playing. I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to read this to y'all. Alabama, the last 15 times that Georgia and Alabama have played, y'all want to know how many times Georgia has won? Georgia has won only 4. Georgia has only won 4 times. I'm going to tell y'all something. You can talk, Alabama and them Georgia fans, they can talk all of the crap they want. They can talk all the crap they want. But when it comes to Georgia facing Alabama, it's just something about Alabama having the edge. And I'm gonna show y'all this. Gunnar Stockton, he's had a good season. 2,535 yards, okay? Now the rushing is Nate Frazier. The receiver, Zachariah Branch. Kicker is Paul Woodring. And defense is one thing. When it comes to the defense for the Bulldogs, the defense, they have solo tackles of 706 yards. Now that is for the Georgia Bulldogs. Now y'all know it seems like when it comes to that nauseating fan base of the Georgia Bulldogs, I can't stand them jokers for the life of me. I can't, because Georgia, you all are an obnoxious fan base for a reason. You think that you can beat everybody at their own game, but you can't. You can't. Total points in this game, 32.3 points per game. Georgia. Third down efficiency is 46%. Fourth down efficiency is 73%. Now let's get to the Alabama Crimson Tide. Now let's get down to business. Ty Simpson, I've been telling y'all all season, a lot of people have been sleeping on Ty Simpson, but he has thrown for over 3,000 yards. Now, the top running back for the Alabama Crimson Tide is Jam Miller. Receiving, Jeremy Bernard and Ryan Williams leads the way. When it comes to Alabama's defense, now Alabama, they have quite a few hiccups on defense. This is the 5th time in the last 7 years that the SEC championship will feature the Georgia Bulldogs and the Alabama Crimson Tide. But like I said, when it comes to Georgia playing the Alabama Crimson Tide, it don't matter where Georgia plays Alabama. They can play them in Athens. They can play them in Tuscaloosa. They could play them in Atlanta, Georgia. They can even play them in Miami, Florida. And Alabama will still win this series. And I'm going to show y'all now. One thing I'm going to do is, since I want to let everybody know how bad this series has been, I'm going to show y'all something. The Georgia Bulldogs, this series, it has been bad. I'm going to look up something. I'm going to look up Wikipedia for everybody that think think that Georgia can just beat up on Alabama. First off, let's see. Okay, here's the game results. I'm gonna show y'all something here. Game results for Alabama and the Georgia series. Y'all look at this. First series, the first game of the series, it started on 1895. Georgia won that one. And as y'all can see, when it comes to 1904, do y'all see all of this Alabama stuff? Do y'all see this? 1922 to 1926, Alabama won every year. And y'all can see where it's consistent. Alabama, 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 Alabama. Again, when you get down here, when you get to the 1950s, it's Georgia, Georgia, Alabama, Alabama, Georgia, and then all of a sudden it's just an Alabama Crimson Tide when it comes to beating the Georgia Bulldogs on a regular basis. So it's not really a rivalry, Georgia fans. I keep on hearing y'all say that when we play Alabama, it's a rivalry. Y'all, when I see this, let's just look at the last 18 years of this thing. From 2002 up until now, Georgia, like I said earlier, has only won 4 times. In that time, from 2008 to 2021, it was Alabama winning every year. And since 2022, it's been Alabama winning every year. So you Georgia fans just need to calm down, sit down. I know when y'all get y'all little drinks and y'all think that y'all are the best thing since sliced bread, but it is stronger teams out here that are more suitable to win this championship than just Georgia. You got Ohio State. I would love to see Ohio State beat up on Georgia. I would love to see Oregon beat up on Georgia because Georgia's secondary is not the same like it used to be. You had 2021 and you had 2022, Georgia fans. And since then, you haven't done nothing. And I don't expect you to do anything in this game. Now, credit, when I get back to this point spread, when it comes to the Georgia Bulldogs, and first off, I'm going to get to Alabama's offense. Okay, 33 points for Alabama's offense. Third down efficiency for Alabama is 46%. Fourth down efficiency is 66%. Now let's get to the storylines for this game. Storylines coordinate with the all-time series lead. Now let's see. Key stats for this game. How to watch this game. ABC, Georgia's offense, 415.7 yards per game, 41st in FBS, 225.3 yards per game, 69th in college football currently. Rushing, 190.4 in 28th in college football currently. Scoring, 32.3 per game, points per game, 35th in college football currently. The Georgia defense, I've been telling y'all, Georgia's defense is not the lockdown defense that we are used to seeing. 290.8 yards per game, 13th in FBS. Passing, 204.8 yards per game, 44th in college football currently. Rushing, 86.1 yards per game, 6th in college football currently. Scoring, 16.7 points per game, 12th in college football currently. Alabama offense, 404.4 yards per game, 53rd in FBS. Passing, 278.3 yards per game, 18th in college football currently. Rushing, 126.2 yards per game, 104th in college football currently. Scoring, 33.3 points per game, 26th in college football currently. Alabama's defense is the better defense in this game. 282.6 yards per game, 12th in FBS. Passing, 158.3 yards per game, 8th in college football currently. Rushing, 124.3 yards per game, 36th in college football currently. Scoring, 16.5 points per game, 11th in college football currently. Georgia is 25th in FBS in third down percentage, converting 46.4% of the time. Georgia is 77th in FBS with a -1 turnover margin compared to Alabama's 19th ranked +8 margin. Georgia is 19th in FBS, averaging 40.9 penalty yards per game. Both teams have strong red zone defenses, each allowing opponents to score on 73.3% of trips to rank 13th in the FBS. Both teams rank high in time of possession. Georgia is fifth in FBS with an average time of possession of 33 minutes 45 seconds, while Alabama, ninth ranked average is 33 minutes 9 seconds. Team leaders for Georgia is Gunnar Stockton, 2,530 yards, 20 TDs, 5 INTs, 70.1% completion percentage. Rushing is Nate Frazier, 809 yards on 145 carries, 5 TDs. Receiving Zachariah Branch, 691 yards on 68 catches, 4 TDs. Alabama, Ty Simpson, 3,056 yards, 25 TDs, 4 interceptions, 65.8% completion percentage. Jamarion Miller, 493 yards on 123 carries, 3 TDs. Receiving Jeremy Bernard, 700 yards on 51 carries. Last game, Georgia beat Georgia Tech 16-9 on Friday. Alabama won 27-20 over Auburn on last Saturday. Now let's get to the point spread. The point spread of this game is a 2.5 point favorite for the Georgia Bulldogs. I still think that Alabama will win this game no matter what, because it's just something about Alabama winning over Georgia. I'm going to show y'all this. Here is the here's the all-time series for the Georgia Bulldogs and Alabama Crimson Tide. These two teams played, like I said earlier, first time they played was 1895. This was almost prehistoric times. This was when college football really started to take off, back in the 1870s, 1880s, and then the 1890s. But we get back to present day. Let's get back to the 2000 and up until now. Do y'all see this? 2002, Georgia. 2003, Georgia. 2007, Georgia. And then we got 2008, Alabama. 12, Alabama. 15, Alabama. 18, Alabama. 18, Alabama. 20, Alabama. 21, Alabama. We got Georgia in 22. Then we have 23, Alabama. 24, Alabama. 25, Alabama. This was earlier on in the season, in week 4. Alabama leads the all-time series 45, 26, and 4. And I believe that the Alabama Crimson Tide, come on now, come on. Anybody that bets against Alabama, you gonna go wrong. Because I expect Alabama to be dominant over Georgia, because Georgia's secondary has been bad for over the last 4 years. But Georgia has been in the thick of things, and nobody is really talking about their secondary. Nobody. So I got the Alabama Crimson Tide winning this game. I do. The next game I am going to cover. It's getting real here. It is getting real here. The next game I am going to cover the Big Ten championship game. We got the Indiana Hoosiers, the Hoosier State, facing Ohio State. Indiana Hoosiers versus the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now we have Fernando Mendoza, 2,758 yards. Rushing, we have R. Hemby. Receiving, we have Omari Cooper Jr. Then we have the kicker. Then we have the defense for the Indiana Hoosiers. Now, as far as the team for the offense for the Indiana Hoosiers, 44.3 points per game. Third down efficiency is 81 per, third down efficiency is 56%. Fourth down efficiency is 46%, which is not good, but it's decent. Let's let's fast forward to the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, the Ohio State Buckeyes, same record as the Indiana Hoosiers. They were 12 and 0. I'm going to get to Mr. Julian saying the Ohio State Buckeyes are one of the best teams and have been the best team in college football all season long. Now, you get to a point where you have Bo Jackson, and this is no relation to the other Bo Jackson. But Bo Jackson, he has had a good season. He's had 952 yards. Here is the top wide receiver for the Ohio State Buckeyes in Jeremiah Smith. I expect Jeremiah Smith to have a good game in this game and have a big game. Kicking, here is the kicker for the Ohio State Buckeyes, and that Ohio State Buckeyes defense has only allowed 7.8 points per game. So everything that Indiana has done to this point, it is null and void. It is. And as far as solo tackles as a defense, 661 solo tackles as a defense for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Indiana, they're going to have a tough day versus this Ohio State Buckeyes defense. Ohio State Buckeyes offense averages 37.0 points per game. Third down efficiency is 56%. Fourth down efficiency is 68%. Now let's get to the storylines for this game. Number 1 Ohio State and number 2 Indiana matchup in the Big Ten championship game. How to watch this game is Fox. Key statistics. How Ohio State's offense 438.5 yards per game, 24th in FBS. Passing 267 yards per game, 26th in college football currently. Rushing 171.5 yards per game, 53rd in college football currently. Scoring 37 points per game, 13th in college football currently. Ohio State's defense overall 203 yards per game, first in FBS. Passing 121.3 yards per game, first in college football currently. The best defense in college football, that's what I said. 81.7 yards per game rushing, fourth in college football currently. Scoring 7.8 points per game, first in college football. This is the best defense in all of America when it comes to college football. The Indiana offense. Now, these Hoosiers are something else now when it comes to offense. I'm going to just tell y'all, Fernando Mendoza, he hasn't been showcased a lot, but Indiana's offense is no slouch either. Overall, 483.8 yards per game, fifth in FBS, passing 254.1 yards per game, 42nd in college football currently, rushing 229.8 yards per game, ninth in college football currently, scoring 44.3 points per game, second in college football currently. The Indiana defense, overall 251.8 yards per game, fourth in FBS, passing 172.5 yards per game, fourth in college football currently, rushing 79.3 yards per game, second in college football currently, scoring 10.9 points per game, second only to the Ohio State Buckeyes, who has the better defense in this game. Both teams perform well defensively on third down. Ohio State ranks second in the FBS, allowing opponents to convert 27.3% of the time. Indiana ranks fourth, allowing 27.7% third down conversion rate. Indiana leads the FBS with a plus 17 turnover margin. Both teams avoid getting penalized. Ohio State is 24th in FBS, averaging 42 penalty yards per game, and Indiana ranks third with a 26.8 yard average. Indiana is 17th in FBS in red zone offense, scoring on 91% of their drives, 91.8% of their drives. They are not going to score that efficiently versus this Ohio State Buckeyes defense. So everybody can get that. Whoever put this stat up, you can forget about that in this game. Both teams rank high in time of possession. Ohio State is third in FBS with an average time of possession of 33 minutes 56 seconds, while Indiana seventh ranked offense is 33 minutes 40 seconds. Team leaders in for both teams. Team leaders for Ohio State and team leaders for Indiana passing. You know what I'm saying when I say that? You know what I'm saying? Because Julian Sayin is the quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes. He's thrown for over 3,000 yards, 30 TDs, 5 interceptions, 78.9% completion percentage. Bo Jackson, 952 yards on 151 carries, 5 TDs. Jeremiah Smith, the man, the myth, the legend, and the man is going to have a ball out game in this game. 942 yards on 72 catches, 11 TDs for Indiana. Fernando Mendoza, 2,758 yards, 32 TDs, 5 interceptions, 72% completion percentage. Roman Hemby, 866 yards on 163 carries, 6 TDs. Omar Cooper Jr., 828 yards on 59 catches, 11 TDs. Last game, Ohio State won 27-9 over Michigan last Saturday. Indiana won 56-3 over Purdue on last Friday. Point spread for this game. I'm going with Ohio State no matter what. So I'm going to just tell y'all that. Here is the point spread for this game. Y'all do with that as you may. The point spread, Ohio State is a 4-point favorite. They opened up at 5.5. So I guess Vegas is expecting a much closer game. I guess so. But I'm still rolling with the Buckeyes. Because Indiana Hoosiers, now let me tell y'all something. This is a neutral site game. This game is taking place in Indianapolis. But I expect Indiana Hoosiers to have so many fans, but it ain't gonna matter because Ohio State, they've went into some hostile environments over the years and they came out with the victory and they're gonna come out with the victory again versus the Indiana Hoosiers. Now, the last game of the slate is the Duke Blue Devils and the Virginia Cavaliers. This game doesn't have much excitement at all because if Duke wins this game, the college football committee is in trouble. I said before the season started that there's going to be one team that loses more than 3 games and has a chance at getting into the college football playoff. And lo and behold, it's the Duke Blue Devils. Now, here's the Duke Blue Devils as far as their quarterback play. Here is their rushing attack. Here is their receiving core. Here is the Blue Devils kicker. And here is the Blue Devils defense. Solo tackles as a defense. They have 834 solo tackles. They don't have too many missed tackles. Here is their offense, the Duke Blue Devils, 34.6 points per game. Third down efficiency is 39%. Fourth down efficiency is 73%. The Virginia Cavaliers, let's get to them. Not too many people have watched the Virginia Cavaliers. Here is their quarterback play. Here is their top running back, Jay Taylor. Here is their receiving core led by T. Harris. And here is their kicking. Here's their defense and solo tackles on defense. 822 solo tackles on defense. They don't have too many missed tackles. Virginia Cavaliers offense, 33.2 points per game. Third down efficiency is 49%. Fourth down efficiency is 46%. Now, the finality of this show is another storyline for this game and the final storyline of championship weekend for this game. ACC Championship features number 17 Virginia versus Duke against Duke. How to watch: ABC, key stats, Virginia offense overall, 433.2 yards per game, 26 in FBS, passing 244.5 yards per game, 53rd in college football right now, rushing 188.7 yards per game, 34th in college football right now, scoring 33.2 points per game, 27th in college football right now. Virginia defense overall, 312.3 yards per game, 21st in FBS, passing 203.4 yards per game, 43rd in college football right now, rushing 108.9 yards per game, 21st in college football currently, scoring 20 points per game, 24th in college football currently. Duke offense, 421.4 yards per game, 34th in FBS, passing 289.3 yards per game, 12th in college football currently, rushing 132.1 yards per game, 97th in college football currently, scoring 34.6 points per game, 19th in college football currently. Duke defense, 414.3 yards per game, 112th in FBS, passing 273.3 yards per game, 131st in college football currently, rushing 141 yards per game, 54th in college football currently, scoring 29.4 points per game, 97th in college football currently. Duke is 72nd in third down percentage, converting 39.6% of the time. Virginia ranks second on defense, allowing its opponents at convert 27.3 points per game. 27.3%. Duke is 19th in the FBS with a +8 turnover margin. Duke is 106th in FBS, averaging 61.8 penalty yards per game compared to Virginia's 32nd ranked 45.7 per game average. Duke ranks 131st in FBS red zone defense, allowing opponents to score percent of trips. Excuse me for a minute. Allowing opponents to score, okay, we have a typo. Allowing teams to score 45% of the time. Okay. Duke ranks 97th in FBS with an average time of possession of 29 minutes 3 seconds compared to Virginia's 117th ranked average of 32 minutes 20 seconds. Team leaders: Chandler Morris, 2,586 yards, 14 TDs, 7 INTs, 65.9% completion percentage. Jamari Taylor, 997 yards on 207 carries, 14 TDs. Receiving: Trail Harris, 809 yards on 56 catches, 5 TDs. Duke passing, Darren Menaza, 3,450 yards, 28 TDs, 4 interceptions, 67.5% completion percentage. Rushing, Nate Shepard, 865 yards on 157 carries, 9 TDs. Receiving, Cooper Barkate, 978 yards on 63 catches, 6 TDs. Last game, Virginia defeated Virginia Tech 27-7 last Saturday. Duke defeated Wake Forest 49-32 on last Saturday. Let's get to the point spread for this game. The point spread for this game is for the Virginia Cavaliers. They have a 4-point favorite. They opened up as a 2.5-point favorite. Now it's increased to a 4-point favorite. I think Las Vegas is expecting a blowout, but that's just me. I see the matchup predictor. It's given the edge to Virginia, and I'm picking Virginia to win this game. Now, I am going to go down a list of games for every network that is going to cover every college football game. Now, please, can someone put that up for me? Can someone put that up for me? As far as tonight's matchup and for championship weekend, can somebody pull that up for me as far as scores concerned? Let's see. Okay, American Championship game tonight. It will be broadcast between North Texas and Tulane. It will be broadcast on ABC. Again, North Texas and Tulane will be broadcast on ABC at 8 p.m. tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, Central Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, and Mountain Time, 6 p.m. Now, the next game, the Big 12 Championship game tomorrow, is going to be broadcast on ABC. Number 11 BYU versus Texas Tech. Broadcast time, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time. Central Time, it is 11 a.m. And Mountain Time is 10 a.m. And that game will be featured on ABC. BYU versus Texas. Set your clocks for 12 p.m. if you are in the Eastern Standard Time, and if you are in other time zones, please set your clocks for BYU and Texas. The next game, Georgia versus Alabama. The broadcast, it will be broadcast on ABC at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pacific Time, 1 p.m. Pacific Time. Mountain Time, 2 o'clock. Central Standard Time, 3 o'clock. So everybody in the country knows what time the Georgia Bulldogs and the Alabama Crimson Tide will play. And this is the SEC championship game. The next game, Indiana Hoosiers versus the Ohio State Buckeyes, the Big Ten championship game. It will be played in Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. I'm going to run back down the locations of where these games will be played for tonight's game. For tonight's game, this game will be played in Ullin Stadium in New Orleans, Louisiana, North Texas, and Tulane. The next game, BYU and Texas Tech, will be played in Arlington, Texas, in AT&T Stadium. The SEC championship game, Georgia versus Alabama, will be played in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, Georgia. Now we get to the current game I was talking about. Indiana Hoosiers, and the Ohio State Buckeyes. It will be played in Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. The broadcasting network is Fox. Game starts at 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock on 5 o'clock Pacific time, 7 o'clock Central time, and Mountain time, 6 o'clock. So everybody knows what game and what time these games start. And the last game of the championship slate for championship weekend is Duke versus Virginia. It kicks off at 8 o'clock on ABC. It will be played in Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. It kicks off at 8 o'clock, 5 o'clock Pacific time, Central time, 6 o'clock, Mountain time, 6 o'clock, Central time, 7 o'clock, and Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock. So everybody knows when the games start. That is for the American Championship game, Big 12 Championship game, the SEC Championship game, Big 10 Championship game, and the ACC Championship game. You have the time, you have the location, and check your local listings for the times and games that it is supposed to be broadcast in your area. And remember, everybody, excuse me, those are my predictions for championship weekend in college football. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to Keytime Sports right here on YouTube, Key City Sports on Instagram, and the Key on Millions.co. We have merchandise on Millions.co now. We have hoodies, we have t-shirts, we have sweaters, we have caps, we have everything that you need for the winter. Now you can go right here to my media feed, and you can go to my sales, my merchandise, and here is my profile, just so you know it's me, the Key. And remember, everybody, one last thing. Remember, the Key is always on time.